Here's an equation that we're going to solve. Instead of having a square root or a cube root or a radical in general, it's got a rational exponent. How do we solve that? What you're going to do is raise both sides of the equation by the reciprocal of the exponent. So in this case, it was 5/2, so you're going to raise both sides to the power of 2/5. When you do that here, you end up with a quadratic equation that you're then going to solve like it's a quadratic. And you end up with -4 and -1. You do need to check for extraneous solutions here. Because since the exponent to start with had 2 as a denominator, that's as if it's a square root, right? So that's why you would need to check for extraneous there. Just like you would if it was a square root. In this case, they both work out. So that means then both -4 and -1 are solutions. Here's a situation where you have exponents on both sides. No matter, you're still going to raise both sides to the reciprocal of the 3/2, so 2/3. And what you end up with here is x minus 2 squared, so you'll actually square that out. You got a quadratic again, get everything to one side, solve it. Now you have -2 and 7 as your two solutions. When you substitute -2 into the equation, you get -64 is equal to 64, so that doesn't work. So -2 is extraneous. Over here, it does check out for 7. So then there's one solution here, and it would be 7. All right, so you got 2 questions to try here, so give those a try, and then come back and check. All right, let's look at part A in red. First thing I did was add 14 to both sides, and then raise both sides to the power of 2/3. You end up with x squared minus 3x minus 6 equals 4. Now you got a quadratic to solve, so I subtracted 4 to the other side, factored, got x equals 5 and x equals -2, both of which work when checked. So no extraneous solutions, x equals -2 or positive 5. For part B, I didn't feel like there's enough information to solve this that you have, because essentially what you would do is raise both sides to the power of 2/5, right? But then you still have x plus 8 raised to the power of 4/5 on the left side. So really what you'd have to do is raise both sides to the power of 2. And then you end up with x plus 8 to the 4th and x minus 10 to the 5th. You have to expand those using, you basically have a 5th power equation and graphing and all that stuff. So don't worry about that one, is the long and the short of it. If you want, you can jump into a breakout room, I could work it out with you and how to do that, but I don't feel like that question fits in this lesson anyway. So again, if you're curious, I can do this in a breakout room with you. Otherwise, you can ignore it. All right, let's look at example 5.